Welcome to the Pocatello Business Podcast, the only Pocatello podcast focused on providing profits for Pocatello people. If you love our town and love small business, you are in the right place. We interview local legends, learn business, and have way too much fun doing it. You're listening to the Pocatello Business Podcast with your friend, host, all-around great guy, and owner of New Clean Commercial Cleaning, Spencer Ward.
All right, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Pocatello Business Podcast. I am here with the one and only Staci Hernandez, General Manager and Auctioneer at Primetime Auctions. Staci is a Pocatello gal. She went to Pocatello High School. She studied at Idaho State University. She also studied auctioneering at the Worldwide College of Auctioneering, Mason City. And now she is currently a real estate agent as well. But she was the former past president of the Greater Pocatello Association of Realtors. So she's got a wide array of experience here. And now she's just bringing her expertise to auctioneering and continuing to grow Primetime Auctions. So, Staci, did I get anything right or wrong there?
Yeah, it was right.
Okay.
Yep, that's me.
Yeah. So, Staci, tell us maybe a little known fact or something fun about yourself as we start this thing.
So I have been married to Tanner for about 24 years. Sometimes I get that year wrong. Sometimes I get it right. We have three amazing kids. Braden is 20. He actually works with us at Primetime and goes to school at ISU. Parker is a junior at Pokey and probably will go to culinary school
Very fun.
next year. Yeah, cool. And then Maddie is our only daughter, 13, going on 21, and just enjoys TikTok. We love to travel. We just actually were able to spend 6 weeks in Mexico in Manzanillo at the beginning of this year.
Wow.
It's always been a goal of ours to be able to go out and give our kids that experience to live in a different community or a different country and just have that cultural experience. And because of COVID and online school, we were able to do that this year. So it was really cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And I'm a huge fan of that too, because it makes them appreciate what they have, living here, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
I have that experience. My first time was out of the country when I was 19, and I got dropped in the middle of Africa, and I was like, oh my goodness. So,
Yeah. It was definitely, it's not a very touristy town, and
Sure.
we were able to work virtually, and our kids went to school, but we were right on the ocean as well and enjoyed all the sunshine, and yeah, it was amazing.
Oh, that is an awesome experience for those guys. Yeah. Well, cool. Well, how did you get into the business of auctioneering?
It was Tanner's family actually that started this back in 1976, I think. And I actually worked with my dad for 18 years. He was the bankruptcy trustee. And then one day he decided he was going to retire, and I had to decide what I was going to do. And Tanner's sister, actually at the time, Sylvia, she was also a real estate agent, said, why don't you get your license and come work with us? And it's kind of funny, Tanner and I always said we would never work together, but the opportunity just arose, and I got my license, and I was just going to run the real estate division. And then things just kind of progressed, and we had the opportunity just to buy everybody out about 10 years ago and just run Primetime. And so we still, we're just doing that, and I still just do real estate on the side.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
That's awesome. Well, it's just great to see a family business, from 1976 still doing well, still thriving, still growing.
Yeah.
That's great to see that kind of thing. And I personally have used you guys as services. I've sold stuff through you guys, and I've had always the best experiences. So it's always fun to deal with you. So, okay, what's one of your favorite parts about your business to you?
The people, definitely the people. we're problem solvers basically. And I love that we get to just deal with the people. Every single day is a new day, a new situation, a new challenge. My days are never the same. I'm not making gadgets and widgets. I get to just deal with a lot of different people and their personalities and just solve their problems. And it's just a really cool business to be in. We're very
Sure.
unique.
I'm sure. And
Yeah.
you probably get to see the auction fever firsthand from
Yes.
people that come in.
We love competitive bidding. That's why that's why auctions work, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Because we're bringing the right buyers, the right sellers together with the right product, and it just works.
Hmm. Yeah, I actually bought a pickup from you guys years ago, and it was a fun process. It was all online when I was there doing it, but
Yeah.
it was still a fun process. So
We're completely all online now.
it is all online.
COVID kind of switched it. We used to do, live auction the
Sure.
second Saturday of every month. And with COVID, we weren't allowed to have, a large
Yes.
group of people. So everything was already all online, but we have now just switched to basically all online. We'll probably end up just doing maybe 2 auctions, maybe a year that are
Wow.
live just for that aspect. And then of course benefits go better live, but
Well, it was nice that you already had that avenue set up when COVID hit, that you could kind of pivot and transition and say, all right, let's still running well with it.
yeah. And it actually, for us as a business, we saw an increase in
Really?
sales.
That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. So
You don't have any some old timers calling you up saying, hey, I want to be at the location.
no, we do.
That's
No, we do.
I was gonna say they don't like to use their computers very much.
No, that's our challenge probably, but we have so many great people on our team that they're all just willing just to sit down with anybody and walk them through the process. And you still have that competitive edge because you're watching it still go live online. It's still just really fun that way, but that is a challenge with, I would say, the older aspect of our clientele, that they don't like the computer as well. They ask us every time they come in, when do we get to go back? But as a business standpoint, it probably just makes more sense just to be online at this point. So
Sure. Very
yeah.
true. Okay. All right. Well, what's one of the biggest mistakes you've made in business?
Oh, lots. That's a tough one. Let's see.
There's, as business owners, we make so many that sometimes it's hard to pinpoint the one that you're really like, oh, that's a
That is a
doozy.
good one. I think over promising
Okay.
is a huge mistake, but it's also one of our biggest values we've ever learned. Don't overpromise something that you can't fulfill. Don't promise somebody they're going to get $1 million out of something that's going to go for $1, or nothing goes for $1. But don't overpromise a value. Don't overpromise your services. Just be honest, and those are hard lessons to learn, but actually the best lessons to learn. I always tell any new person on our staff that goes and books auctions, the best auctions you ever can do sometimes are the ones you turn down, because those are hard lessons to we've all had to I think you just have to learn from your mistakes in
Sure.
order to grow as a business.
For
And
sure.
we've all made plenty by just not meeting expectations the right way for the seller or the buyers, or the weather goes bad and you should have done it
Sure.
inside, or your system goes down. We've all had, yeah, my biggest mistake was over promising a sale in Lava on a Memorial weekend. I thought it was just going to be the greatest ever to have an auction that weekend.
Yeah, you would have thought.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. Nope, nobody was happy.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah. So it was my life lesson. I always will remember that auction, and I have learned so much from that. And I mean, it ended up okay, but
Sure.
that was when I first started, and it ended up fine. But in the end, yeah, we all just have to learn from your mistakes.
I like it. So under promise, over deliver is always better.
Absolutely.
That's true. You probably get a lot of people that come in and think, kind of like a Pawn Stars scenario, that they think they're holding liquid gold in their hands that they're going to give to you to auction off. And you're like, actually, that's, you're holding about 75 cents there. So,
Yeah. You know, the show, it's on like channel 10 or 12 where they bring in their auction items to get valued.
yeah. What is it? Oh, I
I
can't
can't
remember.
think of the name of it, but yeah, that is not worth that. Every time Tanner and I watch that show, we're like, oh my gosh, that is not worth that. And I feel like that gives false expectations to people, like, well, my grandma had that, so it's got to be worth 200,000 like they say. And I was like, no, it's not. But very funny.
Yeah, you probably see some real happy people and some people that are just flaring up temper wise because they know that what they have is authentic and when it really isn't.
Also, part of our job though is educating them, right?
Sure.
And so that's why I'm always like, don't overpromise. And
Yeah.
sometimes, and like I just said, sometimes the best thing for us to do is just not be able to work with that person and just say we're not a good fit.
Yeah.
And there's other avenues to go with if they have their expectations too high.
Yeah, I've learned that as well in our business as well. It's easier to work with people that are just a better fit and you share your same values. So that's true. So would that be one of your biggest frustrations in your business? It's just,
Technology probably
okay.
is my biggest frustration because it runs our entire business now, and it just slowly, I mean, everything is technology, and I should have went to school for that. If in hindsight, if I would have known what our business would have morphed into, I guess I would have taken more computer networking, things like that, classes to make it more efficient. We have a great team, and we have IT people and marketing people. I have 19 people on our staff at this point, and we're all like working really hard, but I feel like as a business owner, and you need to know like every aspect of it.
Mhm.
And technology definitely is not my number one strength.
Yeah,
So, but I would also say overcoming people's challenges of what their expectations are is another challenge.
sure.
But yeah.
Sure. With the technology thing, I think we all, there's always going to be someone that understands technology better than you in any situation. I've got a buddy that's a cybersecurity consultant, and he's been to the headquarters of Facebook. He's been everywhere, and does this stuff, and he blows my mind with what he can do. And I don't feel like I'm horrible with technology, but at the same time, okay, if I do need something like that, it's okay because I can hire someone that can do that just like you did.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you can give them the vision and let them do it. So perfect. Well, what's some of the best advice for our audience that you would give them based upon your experience in business?
Surround yourself with good people. I think your team that you work with every single day needs to have the same goals, the same positivity thinking. I don't like negativity. I am a happy person. I like happy. I don't like the dark cloud people in my life.
Sure.
I just think if you surround yourself with good people and they have the same goals and they want your business to succeed and you give them those tools, that's first and foremost the most important thing to me. I think education is key to, I try to let anytime somebody has something that they can go attend or make themselves better, makes our business better in turn. I think just be open to new concepts. Don't over promise to your employees either.
Yeah,
Don't,
that's true.
I mean, if you're going to keep good employees, you need to make sure you can give them all the benefits and everything. We're pretty lenient where we work, that we have a pretty, like, if you need the day off, we're pretty good about that. I think our job is not pigeonholed 9 to 5 on some days. You know, we have to be open to what other people, it works for other people. A lot of times we're doing estates that only family can come in on a Sunday that you have to go meet, you know, and we just try to really work with each individual to make that their schedule work with ours, but also still have a team environment. I think that's you need to make your workplace somewhere where people want to go every single day. So I would never, there's not another job I would want to do. I love people think I'm odd, but I love Mondays. Monday is the start of a fresh week, fresh new idea. Like it's just a new beginning, right? Other people dread Mondays. I just love them. I think if you're the number one thing you would tell anybody to be in a business is love what you do. If you don't love what you do, you're in the wrong thing. Do I love it every single day? Nope. I mean, I'll be honest, but I don't think that there's anything, I can't see myself doing anything at this point other than what we do. I love our community. I love our job. I love our team that we have. I love that we're problem solvers. Everything is different every single day. We give a lot. I mean, just when we sell for like a benefit, you know, we're just putting that money back into our community and making that organization a better organization. And I just love what we do.
That's fantastic. I love what you just said about I love Mondays, because literally I see so many people around me that they just dread Sunday night coming around, you know, and they know what's going to happen Monday, and they're setting themselves up for failure because they're creating such a negative vibe that no matter what happens, even if there's such a great opportunity on Monday, they're setting themselves up for failure. So
absolutely agree.
I love that. Okay. Well, thank you, Staci. We're gonna enter into the lightning round now. This lightning round is sponsored by Dell's Outdoor Advertising. These guys have been in the business for over 60 years, offering billboard advertising, both digital and traditional. And if you want to keep your business on the top of mind, awareness for your customers and potential customers, give Rob a call. And if you mention the podcast, he'll give you a month for free, or your installation for free if you sign up for a 3-month deal. And you can reach him at 232-6886. So give Dell's Outdoor Advertising a call, and they are our sponsors for the lightning round. All right. So we got 3 more questions here. What's one of your favorite books or /tool or software that you've used in the past that really have helped alter the way you do things, or something that just really stuck out to you?
QuickBooks.
Okay.
I love how it just all like meshes everything together, and it's my business organized. Doesn't matter if I'm doing inventory, assets, payroll, whatever. QuickBooks is my favorite online tool for business. Yeah.
Do you use QuickBooks Desktop or QuickBooks Online then? Online. That's what I do too.
Yep.
I love it.
Yep.
Very, very good. Okay. I like it.
That's
I think the first time someone's actually said QuickBooks, so that's good, because that's a huge aspect of business. So, okay, what's one of the biggest myths business owners need to know the truth about?
About our business?
Just about business in general, really. And if you want for a separate one, you can say what's maybe the biggest myth about your business too.
Okay, so as just a business in general, I think the biggest myth is if you're the owner, you have every glory ever out there. When in actuality, there are a lot of glorified moments, but there are a lot of sleepless nights, worry. I'm responsible for 19 other people's livelihood, and that is a lot to take on. I take on it I love the challenge of that, but it is not all fun and games being a business owner like some people think it is. As our personal business, I think one of the number one myths that we have is people think that when they just are selling at auction that it's like a bad situation. Somebody's like a foreclosure or bankruptcy, and we do sell bankruptcy items, but
Sure.
I think auctions have been around way longer than anything. That's
Mhm.
how people used to buy their brides. So I think it is an awesome way to bring a buyer and seller together and get a fair market value of any price. I do not think it's a negative thing. I think it's actually a very positive way
Sure.
to where the seller gets to set the price, or not the price, the seller gets to set the time that it sells and the buyers get to set the price. And you definitely have to have the right seller and the right motivation, but it really works. And we sell a lot for like new car dealers, trade-ins, banks, credit unions, repos. We get semi-loads from back east of new furniture now, TVs, like
Wow.
we sell everything. So we
That's
just sold
great.
a house at auction, and it went over 60,000 higher than our seller anticipated.
Wow.
So I had a ton. I mean, a lot of that is contributed to our market right now,
Sure.
right? The real estate market. But
Yeah.
when we auction real estate, we always have we just have great participation, and people like the thought that they can maybe get it for a great deal, but then
Sure.
it ends up being a fair deal, not a great deal. It's fair market. So I just think people think, just to reiterate, the myth of an auction is negative connotation a little bit, but it's actually a very positive experience for the buyer and the seller.
I like that. I even had my doubts when I first came in to do any kind of auctioneering, auction business or buying or selling with you guys. And like I said before, it was such a pleasant experience that I'll keep coming back for all the stuff I want to sell or buy. So
Awesome. I think
So-
another funny myth is that, because Tanner and I both are auctioneers, live auctioneers, when we used to do that, that we both talk like that at home. And so, we don't, we don't talk in auction terms to each other. I get that all the time. It's very funny.
I wish you could like discipline my children that way. Hey,
Yeah.
count it down. All right. So perfect. All right. So what's one question I should have asked that I didn't?
Where are you guys gonna go now that you sold to Maverick?
Perfect. Yes.
My
everyone's trying to
number
know
one
that.
question we're asked. So currently we have like 6 spots in the mall, which at the Pine Ridge Mall. So we still own 6.5 acres next to Maverick, and then we bought 4 acres across the street, which is our Avenue of the Chiefs location. And then we actually are acquiring the old Papa Paul's and Triple L building and converting that to our main location. So we'll have about 14,000 square feet between both buildings, and it's a work in progress because those buildings have been vacant for a little bit. But our goal is to be in there in May and have that be our main location. And then anything else will go to the Avenue of the Chiefs property. And then, yeah, so we'll be out of the mall supposedly in the middle of May. But
Okay.
yeah, so that's our new location. So in between 4th and 5th.
Very cool. Very cool. That's a great location.
Yeah.
Great location.
It should work well for us.
So you're doing a lot of remodeling and all that fun stuff right now. So
yes.
Perfect.
Yep.
Well, I appreciate Staci coming on the show with us. It was super educational to learn more about the auction business. And for all those that are listening that think, okay, hey, I've been meaning to call Prime Time, either to sell my estate or whatever. What's the best way to get a hold of you guys?
So 208-232-4912 is our phone number. You can email anybody, just their first name, at primetimeauctions.com, or just visit our website, which is primetimeauctions.com. And then there is a link there that you can ask questions. We answer our Facebook page. And any way you can stop in and talk to us. We have lots of people that are willing and able and want to talk to you and sell your items for you.
Perfect. Well, I love it. Well, Staci, thank you so much for coming on the show with us. Hope you come back again.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and all those listening, thanks for stay tuned with the podcast and rate, download, and subscribe to us. So until next time, adios.
Congratulations on spending a couple minutes getting just a little bit smarter, having some fun, and supporting the Pocatello business community. If you are feeling the love, make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you are.